we are ready for our first bareback rider, and we talked about it a moment ago. Now, our officials, of course, will mark the Cowboys 1-25, the Bucking Horse 1-25, and Clint Lay of Cadogan, Alberta, going to be the first man. Now, he brings 84 points into this with him. Remember, it's the total on 2. And, Doug, got a pretty good horse to ride right here.
Oh, boy, this is OLS Tubbs Ross River. This is a Canadian champion bucking horse, won the title in 2010, was the runner-up to the title in 2011. This horse has been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. I picked this guy tonight, Dave, because I know him the best. I've known him since he was born, and he's a good cowboy from a third-generation rodeo family. And I tell you what, Clint has got a very strong left arm. He's going to rear back and ride this horse. And for those of you that are not familiar, we're talking about 8 seconds. Let's get ready.
Well, I'll tell you what, he really burst on the scene kind of last year and really came to prominence, went to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. That's a great shot right there as we see it. He's inserting that gloved hand into that suitcase handle like bareback rigging that Katie Lucas talks about in our Rodeo 101 bareback riding. And you look right here as he gets ready. Got to have the heels of the boots over the points of shoulders. He's ready, Doug.
We're about ready to rear back and do it. Clint nods his head and we're outside. Take a look at this big roan horse. Now there's a cowboy getting to it. Heels of the boots out over the points of the horse's shoulders, and Clint is spurring along. Now that is the 8-second horn. Here comes the rescue squad right here, Dave. The Dodge boys, the Dodge pickup men. That's Jim Keltz and Gary Rempel out there. One behind the horse, one beside the horse. Get the hand out of the bareback rigging, and there we are. Clint is down and all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really liked what I saw from Clint Lay right there. We call it beat him to the ground in the bareback riding, where the heels of the boots try to get out over that shoulders before those horses' front feet hit the ground. And we're going to take another look at it. You're going to get a real good opportunity here to see that. Watch his feet. That's where the money is. See, those heels are to the shoulders before the horse's front feet hit the ground each and every time. That's a money ride right there.
You bet. That's exactly what you want to see. That is a big, strong horse, and Clint made that horse look like he was easy to ride. Ready to get down with our next cowboy. Ready to stay down inside. This horse looks a lot like Ross River right here.
As we get ready, that's Reed Rowan down there, 7 persons Alberta. He's got River Reflection. This is a full brother to that Ross River. Does look exactly like him.
Well, these horses were raised in Saskatchewan, and you can see the wild man is getting down there tonight. Those spurs are right there. Oh, yeah. Steps away, and you can see the neck brace down there. That is a wild spurring cowboy. Reed Rowan looks back to that horse and says, boy, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to survive that one.
Now, Clint Lay, by the way, posted 83.5 with his earlier 84, so he's going to be in at 167.5. And Reed Rowan just checked in as well at 83.5 to go with the 79.5 he brought into the round.
There's a replay of the ride. That horse is a little out of line on the front end, but he has tied with Clint Lay with another 83.5. That's kind of what we expected. Horses that are full brothers and good cowboys with an identical score.
Well, let's go to the Canadian champion, the reigning Canadian titleist is J.R. Vizane of Cowley, Wyoming. Good looking from the Outlaw Buckers. This horse has a big-time reputation. So does the cowboy. Now, J.R. Vizane coming in here at 81.5 points. Wants to put a whole bunch more on the board right there with that ride, Doug.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the rescue squad. Gary Rempel up there beside him. Jim Keltz riding in behind. That custom-fitted bareback rigging is tough for the Cowboys to get his hand out of. Now, watch this. This left leg might drop down a little bit right about there. Not up where it should be. Now, in our critique of the ride tonight, we know absolutely nothing about the bareback riding, but the judges know everything. Our Wrangler officials will be scoring our cowboy. The score will be back in just a moment. Do you have it, Dave?
J.R. Vizane is in with 78 points, so he's about 159.5 on 2. Now, of course, everything we're saying is pretty much unofficial. What is official is Matt Lane of Caylee, Alberta, is getting ready. He comes in here at 82.5 on his first ride. And I talked to Matt. He was awfully happy to have Dallas Team Sexy Bucks, the horse that they wanted on here 1 year ago.
This is a great horse. This horse was raised in Saskatchewan. This horse's sire is actually a registered quarter horse, a born race quarter horse, a running quarter horse that actually went to the racetrack and was bucking the jockeys off. They brought that horse home, became a bucking horse, and a great bucking horse sire. Matt is sitting down there waiting on his horses. We've still got a horse in the arena as our pickup men are working to take that other horse on out of here. What a great night. What a great crowd. The stands are full here tonight in Wainwright.
Well, I'll tell you what, and they're excited about it. Of course, it comes down to a championship round. There's nothing more exciting than a short go or championship round in Canadian professional rodeo, because what it means is we simply ratchet up everything. We bring back the very best of the best in terms of stock and in terms of the cowboys, because it's the top 10 throughout the first performances who earn the right to be back here.
Exactly. Some elimination rounds are what we're talking about. There goes our horse. We'll give our pickup men just a moment to come on back into the arena as Matt Late gets ready. Dave, you rode some bareback horses. Does this bother you at all when you've got to sit in the chutes with your hand in the rigging like that?
Yeah, as a matter, well, it bothered me because I was pretty much terrified the entire time anyway. But I'll tell you something, Matt Lade, it's not going to bother a veteran like that. Young guy maybe, but this guy's been on so many bucking horses over the years that he's fine with it. He'll just kind of regroup, reset, get his mind right, because everything is going to depend on right now.
We're on outside, and we need to be 84 to go to the lead. There's our cowboy, spurring along in time with the horse. That's the kind of spur stroke that's taken him to Canadian Finals rodeo. And that's the end of the ride. The official part of it now as our pickup men slide along beside. Jim Keltz is right there. The replay on the ride. Dave, talk about the spur stroke this guy showed us.
I'll tell you what, I love it. I love it. This horse really bucks and kicks. See that kick out over the head? They love it when that happens. And how are we going to score him? How about this? As he's in at 83 and a half.
Good Lord, that's 3 of them already. Good deal. That's a great cowboy as he walks back down there, and he's in good shape at this point in the rodeo year.
Well, Matt Late, by my calculation, and again unofficially, I got him in at about 166 and in second place on the board right now on 2 head.
You bet. We've got Clint Lay on top at 167 and a half. And then a 165 and a half with Matt Late right there. You're right, David. Good deal.
Well, let's go to Morgan, Utah, and Caleb Bennett, who is getting ready right now. Here's a guy who's sitting in the Canadian standings. He's got the Vole bucking horse called Hot Flash. He was 86 and a half points, was Caleb Bennett in the Longo round, or the elimination round leading up to this. So he comes in here as the leader. And, of course, that's an advantage because you got 86 and a half points already in the bank, and you're riding Hot Flash.
He went to his first Wrangler National Finals rodeo in 2012, and he's got it going on tonight. 2.5 point advantage over Clint Lay coming in here. Nice horse. No extra marks for the get-off right there. That's a good-looking cowboy from Utah right there, Morgan, Utah. We look at the replay of the ride and look at that horse a little out of line, Dave. That's got to be more difficult to handle, isn't it, for a bear?
It is, yeah. You talk about the degree of difficulty when the horse kind of swoops and swallows and left and right and all over the place. Does make it a little tougher, but didn't seem to hamper that cowboy very doggone much. Let's see what we're going to do for him in terms of a score.
That's going to take him to 164 on 2 by my calculations. Cowboy was 77 and a half on that horse tonight.
That's probably a little short of where Caleb Bennett wanted to be. You come in here with the lead, you want a little more than that.
That's old Buckwheat going at it right out there. Good luck, cowboy. Ranch raised consistent horse, and that is Brian Bain from Culver, Oregon. 3rd time he's had that horse here, Dave.
That's what we talked about. We talked about that earlier. That's tremendous. How do you do that? It's luck of the draw. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty lucky draw to have the same horse 3 times. He's been 1st and 2nd on him in the short go previously. Let's see what we're going to do this time for him. As Brian Bain, boy, that horse, that was out of line right there. Might not have had the best day that horse has had. Let's see how it's going to affect the score as Brian Bain awaits the decision of our officials.
We'll shake it on out. 3 times he's had that horse. He needs to buy a $6.49 ticket before we send him back to the U.S. No problem. You can see that cowboy in that big, thick glove. He's got a brace on the arm, a brace on his neck as well. 69 with option for reride. Am I right, Dave?
Yes, I think you're right. 69, and he does have another opportunity, so I think we're going to see him again. I'm excited about this, Doug, because this is Luke Creasy. This is my pick, by the way. Let's just look back. Your guy is at 83 and a half. If my guy can be 84 or higher on neutral hills, I'll tell you what, this is a horse that Wayne Vold bought from Coy Robbie, but a horse that I raised and then sold to Coy, and it went on to Wayne Vold. So I'm excited about the horse, but I'm also excited about this guy. This is a guy who has been riding so very well. When he's healthy, there isn't anybody any better than Luke Creasy, and he is healthy.
Well, I tell you what, he's been winning on both sides of the 49th parallel. He won Huntsville, Texas, Payson, Arizona. He won Grand Prairie. To top it all off, he's a college cowboy. He was the top male student at Texas Tech. And we're outside. Talk about your horse, Dave. She's having a good night.
I like her. I like her. She's kicking. She's bucking. The higher they jump, the harder they kick, the better the judges are going to like it. And he didn't want to go any further than 8 seconds. I don't blame him. I'll tell you what, Luke, that looked good. Let's see what the officials thought, because they know a whole lot more than Doug Young and Dave Paulson. I'll tell you that right now.
That cowboy was dead on. Look at those feet coming straight back. They're together.
That looked nice. I loved it. That Neutral Hills right there had a very, very nice nice trip right there. Let's see how we fared for our cowboy as we await the score.
I think they're talking about 83 and 162.5 on 2. That should put him third in our aggregate so far. This is a little like 3 rounds of golf right here, or 2 rounds of golf for what we're talking about. The best on 2 head of livestock. We're back to the buck shoots.
Yeah, you're right. Luke Creasy was 83. 162.5 is where we've got him, so he's going to be solidly on the board. I'll tell you what, I love the way this is shaping up. As Kyle Bowers, oh man, what can you say about a 2-time Canadian champion, 2 times national finals rodeo qualifier, and maybe, getting towards the tail end of his career, but he can still put together some great rides.
I tell you what, this cowboy is a threat anytime he gets on the back of a bucking horse. He was 83 in the first round. Tonight he has a horse called Circuit Breaker. Alberta raised horse right here. Canadian finals bucking horse. We're outside. This is a big, solid bay gelding right here. Lots of extension, but we're changing direction on that front end. That horse is doing some lead changing on the front end. That'll be a little more difficult to handle. I don't know whether the judges would like that one quite as much.
Well, we're going to see how Kyle Bowers fared 11 times to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. You talk about consistency. Horse started real good right there, but then had a few different ideas. I think I'll go this direction. No, maybe I'll change my mind. But I'll tell you what, right there, Kyle Bowers is looking solid. This is a guy who can handle a horse that's maybe just a little out of line. Let's see how he fared in terms of his score.
He's a big, solid, experienced cowboy, and there's no substitute for experience. 80-point ride. All right. Good deal. Talking to the Wrangler officials about that one, I think he's pretty happy to survive that one on Sunday night here at the Battle for the Buckles.
Oh, man, it's been outstanding so far. Let's see where we're going next as we get set for our next cowboy. Okay, D.V. Fennell, Inola, Oklahoma, and another horse that I like a whole lot, Centennial from the Vold organization. This could be a real nice matchup, Doug.
Right. This horse is solid, consistent. This horse is 13 years old. Into the Wrangler National Finals, to the Canadian Finals Rodeo. This horse was actually raised in Saskatchewan by a man that's raised a lot of bucking horses, Don Peterson. The cowboy tonight, D.V. Fennell, has twice been to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Did that in 2009, 2010. He's been winning as of late, and he is a log home builder when he's not at a rodeo. Can you imagine that?
Don't tell my wife that, because she's been after me to get a log home built, and she finds out this guy's the guy, then we're going to spend a little money right there.
Well, this is the guy you need to talk to. He built his own house right from scratch. He's down in there tonight. You can see that big, thick glove on that right hand. This cowboy knows that the cash is on the line. Now watch him handle his horse carefully. Get that body up against that bareback rigging. Get ready to nod. Outside. Look at that one. There's some extension. There's that horse changing direction again tonight. Cowboy spurring, doing his best on the back of that horse. That looks good. Hang on, DV. Whoa.
Horse started to the left, then went back to the right. Didn't make the job any too easy, and you can see DV maybe not 100% happy with the way that ended for sure.
Well, he was 81 solid points in our first round. The scores are coming back at 79 from our Wrangler officials here tonight. That'll drop him back in there. 160 on 2 head of livestock in the bareback riding for D.V. Fennell.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on the get-off maybe next time. Good job. Good job. D.V., I liked it. Well, as you take a look at our board, right now Clint Lay is up at the top with that 167.5. Matt Late right behind him at 166 on 2 head. That's where we sit right now.
Well, back into the go-round, you can see another cowboy getting set on the back of the horse. Dave, how tight do you cinch that bareback rigging down? What do we do here?
Real tight. And first of all, you do that. And then, of course, you wedge that hand in as tightly as you can get it as well, because that handhold, the heels of your boots and the seat of your wranglers are the only contact points you're going to have with the bucking horse as we get ready right now.
Well, our horse is crouching a little bit. This is Jesse Davies from Power, Montana. And this is True Grit. Dave, you know this horse. This is a good one.
Oh, I love what we're doing. We've seen Reed Rowan just last week with an 85 score over there at Innisfail. That's a nice bucking horse ride right there. I really like what Jesse Davis, the Power Montana, did. And he was impressive as well at Innisfail. This is a nice little matchup right here. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
He held those spurs for just an extra jump tonight before he went to work, spurring that horse on out of there. That looks good. Oh, I think we might have a lead change coming. Yes, we do.
Oh, my. How about 86 and a half? Oh, he's going to like that. But let's go to Katie Lucas right now. I think she's got a special guest.
Thanks, Dave. Yes, I'm behind the chutes here with Clint Lay. Clint, you've just won the Wainwright Pro Rodeo. At 20 years old, you're doing really great in your career. How are you feeling about this win?
Well, I'm still 19, actually, but this win's awesome. I haven't won much money lately, and I've been going pretty hard, so it feels really good to win here and be so close to home and have everybody here watching me.
You're sitting great in both the Canadian and the world standings right now. You're in the finals for both. What's going through your mind this season, and what are your plans?
Oh, it's just awesome to have these opportunities, and I'm just going to keep having fun and try not to worry about that till the end of the season.
Okay. Who do you look up to right now, being such a young competitor?
Well, I actually look up to Ty Fast, Tip-a-Tat. He's really good and keeps me pumped up and going.
Right. Well, thanks, Clint, and good luck with the rest of your rodeo season.